Back, another episode of Lancaster Connects.
You were chair dancing.
I was chair dancing. I was lost in thought
Like
that we should have sent Chris, our producer, amazing Chris Stone at castahead.net. We should have sent him our recent WGAL news coverage story.
Oh, what?
I know.
He could find it. It's out there on the interwebs, the Facebooks.
It's
the
out
YouTube.
there. It's out there, but he doesn't. The curveballs is just not fair to throw him.
He
So
can handle it.
So maybe we'll get that up. Maybe we won't. But if we don't, we'll for sure show it to you next week or this weekend next week.
You teased it. What was it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it is.
Right. Oh, so we had WGAL come to us, Lori Burkholder. So thank you.
Yes.
They came here and we helped them develop their story on sleeping better, tips to sleep better. We talked about pillows, mattress toppers, how to choose the right mattress. And it was a really great little article and
opened thousands of eyes.
And their one producer says his life was changed with the pillow tips that we gave.
That's right.
So yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff that happened Friday. Friday last week, Friday morning. So anyway, we will definitely get that. Oh, there it is. We're going to let that play, I think. This is where.
Let's do it.
You're probably just waking up. This continuing our series of.
Well, maybe not.
Well, there they are.
We teased it. There it is for sure. We'll get it next week.
Working on the volume.
We'll get it next week. That's our fault. We should have been thinking about that. Things move fast around here.
They do.
Yeah, it was telling Ben. I kind of forgot that I even participated in that story back at the beginning of the month, and then 2 weeks later, there it was.
When you do so many spectacular things,
it's kind of a big,
when
you're kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just like all runs together. Do cool stuff every day. So anyway, we're here. Another great episode of Lancaster Connects. Last week I was downtown at the Velocity Lancaster event, and that was very cool. Kind of like the rebirth of the city, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're 2 years past the spring of 2020, with the name that shall not be named, because I'm tired of it. Just like I'm sure you might be.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, but Velocity was a very cool event. So hopefully going to have some more guests on the show from people I met there. As always, if you know of a great charity we can highlight, please turn them on to this show. What else do we got?
Comments get you in the contest for a free gift. We highlighted. It was
like the most laid back toss ever.
Yes.
What else do we got? What else are we talking about?
What else are we talking? We're talking tumblers, baby.
Yep.
Exclusive, less nor more cuddle. What do we call this?
That's a flask.
That's the flask. And what do we call this one?
That's the tumbler.
Tumbler. Exclusive. You can only get these here at Gardner's Mattress and More.
Yep.
Because we're the exclusive home of the less nor more cuddle trademarked mattresses.
That's right.
To win one, they're free. To win one, all you got to do is give us a comment. Comment, tell us what you like about the show, talk about guests, ask questions, ask about Jeff's WGAL performance.
Yep, you can ask about that.
Comment, you're going to win a tumbler. Well, we'll spin the prize later. One person will win a tumbler. But we do this every week. Yeah, there's a chance to win every week. You can also pick a $25 gift card to a restaurant in Lancaster County. I mean, the tumbler is like the gift that keeps on giving all year long, because these things are like rock solid.
Oh, they're great.
They're, you can't bust them. Fill it with water every day or your favorite other beverage and walk it around town.
Mm-hmm.
Flaunt your less nor more cuddle happiness.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Just give us a comment. Give us a like.
That's right.
We entered in the contest.
So you can watch this show on really anywhere that's like kind of a connected smart device or a computer. You just search it up, Lancaster Connects. So you could do that in YouTube. You'll find it on YouTube on our Gardeners channel, the Lancaster Connects channel. Same thing on Facebook. You'll find it there. Even on LinkedIn. We often forget LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn's kind of like that third or fourth social media channel that always kind of gets forgotten. But anyway.
Yeah, I get email notifications from LinkedIn, and it says, so-and-so sent you a message. I'm like, oh, that's us. It's like a notification that our show is about to start. Oh yeah, LinkedIn. I don't go on there, but it's on there.
You're just in this circular thing of talking to yourself in your email box.
Pretty much.
So anyway, you can watch it pretty much wherever you get the internet. Just search Lancaster Connects. It'll come up on multiple channels, which is pretty cool. So we've got Memorial Day savings are going on now. May is always a good month. It is Better Sleep Month, right?
It is still double sleep. I was going to say double deals. It is Better Sleep Month. You're right. It is still Better Sleep Month.
You okay over there?
I don't know.
What's in this drink?
It's coffee, man. It's coffee.
It smells a little Irish in there.
Nope. Saving that for the connection cocktail.
So anyway, it is Better Sleep Month. It is May. Memorial Day weekend is this month, which means big mattress events. A lot of vendors have great deals. We've got those going on right now. No reason to wait. Cook your burgers and dogs on Memorial Day weekend. Come out and get a mattress now. And you can be maybe even waking up happy by the time Memorial Day weekend comes around.
That's right.
Quite
I mean,
possibly.
that's great advice because sometimes people wait until the holiday.
Like I give bad advice. It was on
I'm
TV.
just pointing out how good the advice was.
Right.
Some people wait until the holiday, and which, maybe is your only free time to shop, whatever. But like that Memorial Day Monday is one of the biggest days of the year for us, and we get very busy. So we like to give very personalized and thorough service, and sometimes on these busy holiday weekends, we can't do as thorough of a job as we'd like, or we would like to provide you. So definitely shop early, get the deals, the same deals that you'll get on Memorial Day, get them now through Memorial Day, and obviously find the one that's the right fit for you through our process, which we'll probably talk a little bit about later on.
That's right. Oh, we can. It's our show. We can do what we want.
Yes, we will.
Creative leverage, right?
That's right.
That's called.
Yes.
And one other announcement that we've been doing. So we kind of started this new thing. So we always give to our charities that are on the show. And we thought, what could we do to extend that goodwill? So, when you go to the grocery store or really almost any store now, they ask you to round up your change, a couple cents here, a couple cents there. So I kind of took that and brought that in here to Gardner. So we have it called a Roundup to Give Back program. And we're asking our customers when they're here in the store buying something, if their invoice comes out to say $996 and some change, we're asking them to round that up to $1,000. And then we have a way to inventory that in the computer system, tie it to the who gave it and the dollars. And at the end of the month, we can total that up and we'll match that. So yeah, we have on the screen there, you can round up by $5, $10, whatever you would feel compelled to give, you would give. And then we collect that and take that in and then donate that dollar amount back. I mean, the reality is
we'll match it.
Yeah, we match it. The reality of it is, in offering this, we actually lose a little bit of money because if you give us $50 or $20, we pay the credit card fee on that, but you gave 20 and that's what we're going to give back to the charity. So for those that give at the, at our counter, at our sales counter when you're doing that with purchasing your mattress, that money we're going to send to food banks, 2 of them that are connected here to the store because Hempfield Food Pantry, Drew's father, helps to run that. And E-Town Community Cupboard. Geez, Ben's giving me his hard speech issues today.
It's easy to pass on.
Yeah, stop it. Keep it over there. Anyway, the other food pantry is E-Town, Elizabethtown Community Cupboard. And
great organizations.
Andrew's wife, Missy, works there. So we kind of keep it connected. And 2 great food banks that are kind of spread out in the county. And so, we kind of spread the love around, easy to get to, if you will, for people that need it. And obviously, with food prices the way they are, those places are becoming more and more burdened, needing more and more funds and food to affect the program and the mission. So that's where we're going to be donating the Roundup money. And then our charitable contributions go back to the folks on the show. So that's what's going on with Roundup. At the end of May, we'll have our first full month to report. And we'll report if I guess maybe a couple people snuck in April on that.
Yeah, I think you're right because we launched it in April.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll do a full first report out the end of May, and maybe that first episode in June, we'll report it out and divvy out the money. So that's what's going on there.
Very
I
cool
think that's
program.
a fun little program.
Yep.
But without too much further ado, we said like in the pre-show, Dawn, Charlotte, it takes maybe about 5-7 minutes. We're at 11 minutes. They're probably wondering what the heck are these two jokers doing? But
I'm gonna say Chris got us started late. That's just what happened. That's what.
I was going to blame it on Ben.
Up, at least have something that's not proven. I have an alert on my phone right here.
It started.
It says we started on time.
All right. Well, sorry, Chris.
Yeah. So
I was going to blame it on Ben and all his talking and like weird words that he was creating, like Bushisms or whatever they're called.
This happens. This happens. So thank you, Dawn.
So we have Dawn Tluczek, who is in the upper right corner of your screen, and Charlotte Guerin there at the bottom. They are from Bethany Christian Services. And ladies, welcome to the show. Happy to have you on today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First, let's just hear what the mission of Bethany Christian Services is. What is Bethany Christian Services?
Well, I'll take this one, Charlotte. So at Bethany, we believe that every child deserves to be safe, loved, and connected through family. We are all about keeping families together, whether it is through our foster care, our adoption, our safe families, the refugee program, transitional foster care. We have a lot going on, and we are a global nonprofit that supports children and families with world-class social services, but it's all designed to help families thrive. We stand up for vulnerable. Oh my word, I did a Ben. Sorry, we stand up for vulnerable children, refugees, families around the world, because family holds an incredible power to connect us, to lift us, and to transform a lot of lives. So that's what we're about.
Yeah. Well, we love that mission. So that's why you're a second time guest on the show, and that's we do love being able to highlight what you're doing. This show, Connecting Through Crisis, you may have picked it up if you're watching through the title card. We're going to talk a little bit about Bethany's efforts in the Ukraine, but first, Charlotte. So why don't you share your title, what you do, and Don, we'll have you come back and answer the same then after Charlotte goes. But touch on what you do, Charlotte, and what your focus is there with Bethany.
Sure. My name is Charlotte. I'm the site supervisor for our local Refugee Resettlement office in Lancaster. We have an office downtown, right downtown on South Duke Street, where we serve all of our refugee families. And the real goal of the program is we help families and individuals who are coming into the United States with refugee status, and we help them resettle and integrate into life in the United States. So that's a very vague overview of the program, and I can go in much more detail, but my position is the supervisor for that office.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So Dawn, we'll talk more about the Ukraine effort in just a little bit here. So like Jeff said, Dawn, your role with Bethany and what you do there.
So my official title is the Donor and Church Liaison, and then I also do all their events. So I am outreaching to donors, to churches. I connect churches with all of our programs, and then I run all of our big events here. We have a lot of events through all 8 locations that I oversee for Central Pennsylvania.
Oh wow! So I guess it would be good to know how and when Bethany Christian Services came to be, and how long have you been in Central PA?
Charlotte, you want to take that?
Bethany Christian as a whole, I'm not sure about the exact year, but as far as refugee resettlement, we started our resettlement office in 2016 in downtown Lancaster, and I've been with Bethany since 2017, first as a case manager and then as the supervisor. Bethany as a whole, I believe, has been serving refugees since at least 1975. My knowledge is pretty refugee specific, so Dawn, I'm not sure if you'd be able to add anything here.
I think the company, if I remember, the company as a whole is about 75 years old, and they began working with one child, but now they work in 30 states and they're impacting over 50,000 people a year.
Wow.
That's like company wide.
That's tremendous. Charlotte, I forget where I saw, maybe it was an online article somewhere, but talking about how Lancaster as a whole is kind of like a very good supportive area for refugee resettlement because of the work environment, available jobs, the openness to businesses bringing in folks that are in need through resettlement. Can you, either of you, speak to that?
Of course. Yeah, Lancaster is a great area. I have a statistic back from 2017. Lancaster resettled the most refugees per capita of any other city in the United States, which is pretty amazing for a small town in central Pennsylvania. But Lancaster is an official welcoming city. So we have a lot of people in the community who are very open to helping refugees resettle. We're in a nice area where the rent isn't so high that you can't afford it, and also the jobs are plentiful. So it's a very nice area to help settle them down. And we have a lot of experience with the community, and we have a lot of support from the community. It's just a wonderful area for our families to start their new lives.
Yeah.
You mentioned the jobs. What type of jobs are ideal for a resettled individual or family?
We work with a ton of employers. I mean, off the top of my head, a lot of our refugees work at the big urban outfitters, distribution center out in Gap. A lot of them are warehouse or entry-level positions, and then they work their way up. I have a lot of former clients who have started their own business. I have a client who started a restaurant. I have clients who are going back and getting their degrees and starting nonprofits of their own. And there are certain small businesses in Lancaster that hire refugees as well, such as the Stroopy Company, which is inside the Lancaster Sweet Shop. So there's just a lot of options in this area. And the refugees that we have are very entrepreneurial, and they want to start doing things for the community that has welcomed them.
That's very cool to hear. The restaurant, I mean, I have zero issue with what some would call shameless plugs. Are you at liberty to share the name of that restaurant?
Oh man, yes, he's actually not open currently though, but it was the kebab shop on Queen Street.
Okay.
But he'll be reopening at some point. It was a former client from Afghanistan had opened that restaurant.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, kebab me up. Let's do it.
Kebab me up. Only this guy. Look at Dawn.
Fantastic.
Dawn's even like, oh my God. Yeah, Dawn, right? Like this. Every day with this.
Hey, look, I like
What's going on over there? What's in that cup? I need some or something.
So all I'm going to say is the bottle of bourbon in the office went down by about that much.
No, that is on your side.
So we've got a lot of good support for resettlement, for relief effort, for help in a time of crisis. Let's talk about what's going on. Obviously, in the Ukraine, you would have to be, pretty much tuned out to not understand what's going on. So what can you share with people listening here that's going on with Ukrainian relief efforts?
Sure. There's two main programs that I'd like to talk about. So everybody's hearing everything in the news about Ukraine, and it gets quite confusing, as anything with immigration does. So I'm always happy to answer anybody's question. But there's two ways that Ukrainians can come to the United States. The first is the traditional way, coming as a refugee. We can receive many Ukrainians through our traditional refugee program, which is through the UNHCR, which is the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees. And those are for the clients that have gone through the vetting process overseas. So they've gone through the security clearances and the medical clearances, and then are screened to come into the United States. Now that process takes about 2 years. So it's not a fast process, but that is how we are able to receive Ukrainian refugees at our office in Lancaster. The second program, which is not through our agency, it's actually a federally sponsored program through the Department of Human Services and Homeland Security. It's called Uniting for Ukraine. Let me make sure I say that right. Uniting for Ukraine program, which is through the Department of Human Services, and that is for those who wish to sponsor a family member to come to the United States, but with humanitarian parole. So that sponsor then has to take on all financial responsibility for their Ukrainian family member because they wouldn't be eligible for refugee benefits. So there are two completely different routes to come to the United States. As far as our agency is concerned, we can receive refugees from Ukraine. But as far as the Uniting for Ukraine program, that would be through the Department of Human Services.
You said a term I'm not familiar with, humanitarian parole. What does that mean?
So, sorry, I tend to go on and on about terms, and I'm always happy to explain myself. Humanitarian parole is a legal status where you're allowed to stay in the United States legally, but humanitarian parole does not give you any benefits that a refugee legal status would give you, such as the ability to get Medicaid or food stamps or financial assistance from the government. Humanitarian parole is just so you can stay in the country. That's a very broad description.
Okay.
And then they're working towards like citizenship or the next level of status, if you will? What is
They
that?
could work towards applying for asylum. Anything else would have to go through an immigration attorney. And it would take an act of Congress to really change anything that happens with that immigration status.
Okay.
Charlotte, do you find, so folks that end up coming here to Lancaster through the refugee program, do you find, and maybe the folks from Ukrainians are a little different than maybe say somebody from Afghanistan. Obviously, two very different conflicts, two very different reasons why somebody may land in Lancaster. But on a whole, do you find that people desire to stay here or get away from the crisis but then go back? Or is it just kind of depends on the situation?
It depends. The refugees that we receive want to stay here.
Okay.
The majority of our clients are from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and they've been living in refugee camps in the surrounding countries such as Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda. They're here to stay. And those from the eastern countries like Africa and we've had quite an influx of Afghan refugees because of the Afghan crisis. And they're here to stay as well, just because of the state of their country. Sure. As far as Ukrainians go, we haven't received many yet because of the long process that it takes for them to get here. But the Ukrainians that I've worked with in the past were always here to stay. But that's a really good question. Those who are coming because of the current crisis, I'm not sure what their answer would be.
Yeah, I mean, I just ask, from my view, Ukraine is almost like a Western nation, very much connected to the European Union, if not fully, completely, at least in spirit and philosophy. So it was just something that kind of came into my mind as we're talking. I could certainly see somebody wanting to go home. I can't imagine what it's like to be uprooted like that, especially as horrifically as has been reported and shared. So yeah, it was just something that came off the top of my head. So how can people help through Bethany with the Ukrainian crisis? Like what programs are there that Bethany is taking a part of?
Yeah, so the first program that I talked about where family members can apply for other families in Ukraine to come here, we can actually help with those applications, help those to help their families apply who are in Ukraine to apply to come here with refugee status. That's something we are able to help with. And, we have a couple other programs, not specific to Ukrainians, but they are eligible for. One of them is our co-sponsorship program. Our co-sponsorship program takes a group either from a church or community or a volunteer group, and we match them with a family, and they walk alongside that family for at least 6 months just to help them with any little thing that they need while they resettle into the United States. And that's a program that I always like to talk about because we always need volunteers for that program. And if we would get Ukrainian families in the future, that could be a program that could benefit them as well.
Okay. The connection of family, like when you say helping with applications to sponsor family members in the Ukraine when the other family members here, is that like immediate family, like father, mother, brother, sister? Does it like how far does that extend? Like, second cousin twice removed? Like what are the parameters there?
It has to be immediate family, a spouse or child under the age of 21.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Anything beyond that scope, I would suggest somebody reach out to an immigration attorney. We do what we can, but there's a certain extent to where our services, it's beyond our reach. And then I have immigration attorneys in the area that I refer people to. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. You would be able to help someone find an immigration attorney if that was needed.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm always open to questions, and we help people as best as we can, even if it's beyond our knowledge. I try to at least point them in the right direction because it's a very confusing process.
When you're resettling somebody, I'm sure there's a ton of work that needs to be done before that person gets here, and then of course, you're putting them in a new culture, potentially new language. What does that process look like? What things do you need to have in place? And then, what happens when they get here day one? And what does that look like?
Oh, it's a very busy time. That's a great question. So our ultimate goal, the ultimate goal of refugee resettlement is self-sufficiency for the family. So everything we do is with the goal that they will be able to do it for themselves one day. So we do everything, myself and the case managers who we have in the office. The first task is usually identifying a house for them, whether that be temporary housing or hopefully permanent housing. And we set the house up with things that were either donated or purchased for that family. And we set it up with anything that you think you would need to live in a house: beds, furnishings, toiletries, toys for the kids, anything and everything in that house. And then we work with the family for the first 3 months, and we teach cultural orientation classes. We help them get social security number, benefits, help get the kids enrolled into school. Basically anything that you think you would need when you move to a new country is what we're here for. And we also help with job and employment opportunities as well.
Do you, so obviously people can donate through your website. And I'm sorry that I forgot to look at this. I should have before. Is there a place if you want to earmark money specifically to Ukrainian relief, Afghanistan? We're going to talk about your other program. Dawn, we'll have you chime in a little bit on the Safe Families program. Is that possible to do through your website? Like send it down a pathway?
Yep, you can do it to a certain appeal, a certain program, whether it is the refugee resettlement or if it's foster care or adoption, Safe Families. Wonderful. There's a piece that you can click on that money then will be earmarked to that specific program.
Okay. And then, Charlotte, you're saying we help people get set up in the house, from toiletries to toys to, small appliances, I would imagine, like coffee makers, things like that. If people have things to donate that are in good condition, is that the kind of thing that you take?
Absolutely. We always want donations. Mostly of the things that we mostly need are hygiene items and cooking items because they go really fast. Pots, pans, baking dishes, things like that. But anything that people are willing to donate that could go into a house is extremely helpful because sometimes we get really large families. I mean, we just got a family of 9, and that's a fairly large house and a lot of stuff that needed to be donated. So we really depend on donations from the community to help out our families.
Do you reach out to people that have donated in the past, or how does that work?
We do, and we have a donation room. We have storage at our refugee office. If people call and set up a time to drop it off, or we can come pick it up, or they could leave it at our Oregon Pike office. We are very hospitable to those who want to donate because we want them. But we do reach out, and we reach out to volunteers like our co-sponsors who are matched up with families. And we just pull from all the donations that we've gotten. And we usually don't have too much of a problem finding them, but we always welcome more.
Sure. And how many, I know the Ukraine resettlement effort is going to take a while. Do you have an idea or an estimation of how many Ukrainians might come over and be resettled in Lancaster? Is that something that's estimated?
Yeah, I don't have an exact number, but Pennsylvania and Lancaster specifically is a pretty big Ukrainian site. We have a lot of former refugees from Ukraine in this area. So I imagine if we start receiving more Ukrainian refugees, we would be one of the top states to receive them.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, well, Charlotte, we really appreciate that update, specifically on the Ukrainian efforts. You also have, and Dawn, I understand this is more of your lane, the Safe Families program. Is that right?
Yep. So and it's crazy because I just learned a ton about the Refugee Resettlement Program too. I am usually so focused on just getting out there and connecting churches or potential donors or businesses. Everybody sort of has a passion, whether it is, your life has been, your sister couldn't have a child, so she adopted, or she had fostered a child, or the refugees. A lot of people locally are really have a heart for the refugees. So a lot of people, once you start talking about Bethany, they're like, oh, I would totally like to help with this one program. So Safe Families is one of those programs where I'm finding a lot of people are really wanting to help. I know little bits and pieces of each program. I'd love to have someone come back on at a later time, but Safe Families for Children is a ministry that we offer at Bethany, and it helps parents that are experiencing a temporary crisis by providing a family that walks alongside them until that crisis has passed. And a lot of times those families stay linked for years. And I learned about it even before I came to Bethany. I was in church one day, and one of the guys that I have known for 10 years walked in with these babies. And I was like, so I know that that's not yours. Like, where are these babies coming from? And there was 3 of them. And here he was part of the Safe Families program, him and his wife. Every summer, because she was a teacher, they would open up their homes to help in this specific program. And so it was really, really cool because they were just loving on these babies while the mom was really going through a lot. And at the end of the summer, she was ready to take them back, and they're still all really attached today, and just showing compassion to this family and caring for them, because the woman didn't have any other family here.
Yeah.
So it's really all just about, compassion and connecting with these families. It's an incredible program.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we had superfan Jonna. She's all about passion and connecting.
I love Jonna. Jonna's my girl.
Yeah. Oh, so how do you know Jonna?
Oh, I have known Jonna. So I know Jonna through Polka Dot and ABWA, and her husband and my husband are beer buddies up at the Later Fronts.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I love Jonna.
Very
She's part of
good.
my girl tribe for sure.
Well, then we have somebody I think you know,
Yes.
Mr. Tluczek. He has a question about programs. And then I want to go back to a little more clarity on the Safe Families program, but here Daryl asked programs that you have to help children get through foster and or adoption process.
So he is actually a Bethany dad. My stepdaughter is a Bethany kid. She was adopted at birth through a situation at my husband and his ex-wife's church, where a young lady was experiencing some challenges, and they adopted. So it was I think the name isn't targeted, and he'll kill me for not remember what the name identified. It was an identified adoption. But my stepdaughter is absolutely amazing and a blessing. So he knows all about the adoption process. But I think he's trying to help me segue into our equine therapy program. God bless him. He's my biggest cheerleader. But, we have a lot of different things. We have like book clubs for kids and our big equine therapy out of Berks. We do that actually with fostering adoption. We're hoping to get some of the little refugee kids out there sometime and just really expand it. We were really blessed to I just saw John is there. I will follow Dawn into a burning building. See, I love that woman. I really do. But we were really blessed. The equine building that we currently just erected up in at our farm in Berks was gifted to us from some folks who were selling it's up in Lebanon. Oh my goodness. And now, of course, the name is totally the Quentin Riding Club. They were selling it. And so they gifted us this huge indoor arena, and it literally just went up. It started, I think, like in February. We broke ground in November. And so this is like phase 2. So we have the building. Now it's a process of like building an indoor therapy room and just doing a lot of different things there to get it up to speed. And we'll be able to more than double the amount of kids that we see there. So on average, if we see 100, we're going to probably be seeing more like 250 to 300 kids a year. And
that's
it's an incredible program. There's something about animals and kids can just, my daughter talks to our dog all the time, and you can hear her, because kids, it's stressful. Today's society, everybody's got kids here in the room, and it's incredible what our kids are going through. And having like an animal that they can just sort of blurt it all out to is really cool. But the horses are trained. We had a big event last year, and now, of course, we have this year's event. So it's really good.
Yeah. So through equine therapy, the idea being you give children going through the harshness and the hardship of adoption, of being in foster care. You just give them an outlet. Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's specialized therapy trained with these trained horses. We have counselors up at our Berks office, and it's on a farm called Little Springs Farm, and so it's an incredible farm. You just enter it and you just feel the peace come over you. It's very calming, and the kids just really love it there, and adults. I have a great time every time I go up. I find myself talking to those horses myself. Don't laugh. Come on now, Ben. I'm going to make fun of you for his Bushisms again.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with talking to horses.
No. As long as they don't talk back to us.
Right.
Yep. So, kind of circling back to the Safe Families program. So we had Diana Vulo, right?
Volo, yeah. So
Diana's charity, Swan for Kids, is all about teaching music and music lessons for children whose parents are incarcerated. So are some of the children coming through Safe Families? Is that part of the story? Parents are away, incarcerated. Parents might have a mental health issue. Parents might have a housing issue. Any and all of the above type of thing. Is that
any and all the above? There's a lot of homelessness involved with that. So they're working with different places for housing. It could be just, you're walking alongside a family where the mother's having surgery and there's no other family, and they just need some care for a little while, and then maybe to get to school and to eat. It's horrible to say. There's some basic necessities that we all take for granted that some of these families just don't have access to.
Yeah. So what would be, so if somebody has, like you highlighted the school teacher over the summer. So obviously in their household, they had the summertime that they had more bandwidth to give. Can somebody give a week in their home? Is that of use?
Yeah. It's almost like anything. when they get a call, our Safe Families team will reach out to the people that are in our database for Safe Families. And there might be some times when it's just impossible. You can't help them at that time. Or it might be something as little as, hey, can you just take, John to baseball practice? Sometimes it's just little things. And then sometimes it's caring for in a bigger way.
Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody wanted to donate their time, their home, I love the example of taking little Johnny to baseball practice. I mean, that could be something that, a child misses that part of their spring.
Yes.
And all of a sudden now they're upset about that, and they get connected in with a rougher crowd over the summer, and then school comes around. They're having a hard time adjusting from middle school to high school. And just because Johnny missed baseball practice, all of a sudden things go sideways.
Yeah.
So I hope anybody listening can hear that and really think about, we encourage it often. It's not always about money. Sometimes it's about time. Sometimes it is about opening up your home. In our little example we're crafting here, being able to pick somebody up and take them to baseball practice, or, cheerleading, or whatever it might be. So I guess they would reach out through the website and connect that way.
Yeah. Yep. We would connect you. They could call any of our offices, and the Safe Family team that's in that location could help them.
And I would imagine if you're going to be connected with children, police background check, that kind of stuff, and you help with that.
Yeah, there's a whole process. And sometimes what happens is we end up partnering with a full church. And so there will be people in that congregation, some who are able to care for at higher levels than another. And we take the burden of everything off of them. We have the insurance, we do the training, we do everything. So it's incredible. It's incredible what we can do. Some days I just sit back and I'm amazed that I work for an organization that is so committed to helping keep the family together, which is really what we need right now.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. You have an event coming up. Would you like to share what that is?
I would love to. Thank you, Ben. Yeah. Yes. So we are really blessed to have Stephen Curtis Chapman coming here to Lancaster, actually to our Berks location, to our farm. Stephen and his wife actually adopted through Bethany, so they are big supporters of our organization, and he is coming for a more intimate, small event that we have coming up on June 4th. It's a Saturday night. We have a handful only left of VIP opportunities. There is a dinner with him, and then a chance to meet him and to have things autographed and things like that in the afternoon. And then the main event starts at 7. We're super excited too. We have just partnered with Matt and Kim Goss out of LCBC, and Matt's got albums, Kim's got albums. They're going to be leading our worship time to start us off for that night. And we are super excited that he's coming here.
Yeah. And for those that may not know, Stephen Curtis Chapman, Christian music artist, right?
Yeah.
Won a bunch of awards.
Yeah. I have a little thing here that I printed out because I didn't even really realize the full extent of this, but he's won 59 Dove Awards, 5 Grammys, American Music Award, and he's had 49 #1 singles.
Wow.
He sold 11 million albums. 10 of them were certified gold and platinum. He also had a book. I'm just in the middle of reading it, Between Heaven and the Real World, My Story. So he's incredible. He actually has his own foundation, nonprofit organization that he founded called Show Hope that works with orphans. So, he's really committed to our cause and our mission, and we are just really, really excited that he's come on board for this.
Yeah.
You mentioned there's some VIP ticket opportunities. What do you get as a VIP?
There's different levels, but it starts off really with the ability to meet him. So it's a dinner at 3:00, and then you're in. It's very intimate, like it's less than 50 people. So that's why I said we only have like a handful left. But it's a lot of different advertising pieces to it, with the main venue having the video board, and in the program, it's just some different levels, and then it's also like VIP parking. You get an extended table, instead of just general seating at the event. So, we really do treat our VIPs with some kit gloves and give them a couple little extra perks.
Very cool.
But there's also there's also a little bit of tickets left. It is just going live today with a lot of press. So I've often joked that today really starts our push for ticket sales, because it's on WJTL and in lots of different news releases and stuff like that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Charlotte, anything to add as as you've been sitting there listening, anything that came to mind that you want to share? Not to put you on the spot.
No, it's okay.
But I just did.
If anybody is interested in learning more about the refugee resettlement process, about our co-sponsoring program, volunteering or donating, feel free. Any inquiry that goes through the website comes straight to me. And anybody who calls the Lancaster office, or any office actually, will also come to me. And I am always willing to answer questions for anybody who has them.
Yeah, and for anybody watching, wherever you're watching this, there's, especially on a social channel, there's links to connect with Bethany. So any of those links will get you to the right people, or at least on the right path. On the audio side, the show notes will have the same. So we try to make it very easy when we bring our guests on for you to connect with them. So, but if you just want a website, you can go to bethany.org. That's the big site. And then you can scroll through locations and get to Lancaster's dedicated page, which we actually have on the screen. You can call Bethany at 717-399-3213, and they'll get you connected to the right person, depending on what area of their efforts you're connected to and want to help with. Again, I would just really urge our listeners, if you can donate. But again, we understand that money may not be in the cards for you. So look at your time. And even if it is offering to pick somebody up, take them to a practice, take them to an appointment. If you are willing to help, I am positive Dawn and Charlotte will find a way to direct your time so that it is used and put to good use and you have impact. That's what if we could make those connections here, that's what this show's all about.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, ladies, thank you for being on the show.
Should we do our connection cocktail?
We should. We
should.
That's right. Now I'm drinking the funny cocktail. Speaking of cocktails,
we get to the 50th episode and you forget what we're doing.
Oh my gosh, we
didn't even make a big deal about it.
I know, ladies. 50th episode. Thank you for being on.
Nice.
Wow, congratulations.
I'm honored.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a nice number, but I don't know. But I mean, our producer Chris, he would have the better stats. I mean, there's so many shows that get started. I think I've read a number where like something like 80% of all podcast shows don't make 7 episodes.
Wow.
Because it's work. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But again, we've gotten to this point in part because of great guests like yourselves, but also because of what Chris does. And if you want to get a hold of Chris and are interested in anything podcasting, you should connect with him, and all his details are in the show notes as well. And you can get a hold of him that way. But for the connection cocktail, Ben, you want to lead it off?
I will. I would like to. Yes. We'll go with Dawn first. What is your favorite thing to do in Lancaster?
Oh, in Lancaster.
Lancaster County, Lancaster City.
I think if it has anything to do with music, my husband and I are realizing that we really do enjoy going and seeing music. So anything like American Music Theater, even the Liederkranz. We saw a great band called Get Petty at the Liederkranz who covers Tom Petty music really nice, and follow them over to Stoner Grill. So anything involving music, I'd say I'm in.
Very cool. Charlotte, same question.
Yeah, Dawn, I didn't know you were a member of the Liederkranz. I'm a member of the Liederkranz.
We are totally going there.
Making connections.
Yeah.
Right here on the show.
Look at this.
But my favorite thing to do in Lancaster, I am a big foodie. I love exploring new restaurants, new cafes. We have a ton of great restaurants here in Lancaster, especially the city. We have a lot of just foods from all over the world. I mean, if it's from a different country and I haven't tried it before, I'm there. So that's my favorite thing to do. Yes.
Kebabs. Did you try the kebabs?
Oh yeah. They were delicious.
Yeah. All right. See? Yep.
Very good.
You're up.
Kebab it up.
Kebab me up.
This guy. Have either of you ever ridden in a horse and buggy?
Oh, good question.
I did. It was not a pleasant experience.
Oh, yeah, that sounds, yeah.
No, it just,
what was?
I'm a Philly girl. So, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And it was like years ago. It was one of those where we did all the like Amish stuff when I was not from Lancaster. And so it was unique, and it's a different way of life that is just not for Dawn.
Did you feel like not being in control, like the horse was just going to take off?
I don't know. It was just I just felt very uncomfortable.
Sure.
There's no AC. You can't put a CD in to listen to Tom Petty.
Right.
And that's all there is to it.
Right. And
Charlotte,
I
how
think my
about
kid
you?
kept making fun of it too, so it didn't help it. Like I took him to do it one time, and it was just not a good experience either.
Gotcha.
I am born and raised in Lancaster, and I don't think I've ever taken a buggy ride, honestly.
Yeah, if you're born here or from here, it's kind of like, it's a horse and buggy, no big deal. We see them all the time.
You see them all the time. What's really enjoyable though is our refugee clients who have never seen horse and buggies. The first time that they see them is really entertaining.
Interesting. All right. Last question. Can I take it?
Go for it.
I'm gonna take it.
Go for it.
So Turkey Hill, Sheets, Rudders, or Wawa, which is your favorite? I think Charlotte has an answer.
She does.
I do. Well, I've debated.
And it can be contingent. You can say,
sorry, go ahead.
You can say for gas, this, for food, that. So that's okay.
I have opinions on this. I do. If I'm looking for fresh food or a healthier option, I'll go for Wawa. But if it's late at night and I'm feeling like I want to eat something unhealthy, fried food is Sheets. That's where you go. For gas, I'll go anywhere. But like I said, I'm a little food obsessed. So Wawa is better for like the fresh meals and things that you want made right there. Sheets is where you go to for fried, delicious food.
I would agree with that. Although I did just get a little container of grapes at Sheets the other day. But yeah, my son actually got me seriously hooked on Sheets's macaroni and cheese bites.
Oh my goodness.
And he is at college, so there is no Sheets up there. So every time he comes back here, it's like what do you want for dinner? Sheets. Yeah, he loves Sheets.
Yeah.
See, Dawn, you said you were a Philly girl, so I thought that was like a slam dunk Wawa. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like a go-to. I go wherever gas is on sale and I have a discount. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, good.
Very good.
Thanks for sharing.
Ladies, that was fun. I think we need to like start reaching out to these places for sponsorship. We're going to talk about that time. Get that sponsor money, donate it back to our charity.
Or at least get a schmuffin or something.
That's right. Well, ladies, thank you. Thank you for all the time, the work, the energy that you put into Bethany and helping families. I think family should be the greatest thing we all do, and I'm happy that you're there supporting it. So thank you. Thank you for that. And thanks for being on the show. We appreciate
you. Guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yep, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. So if you're with a charity and you want to be on the show, or you know of a really great charity that we should highlight, what you just saw, we spent about maybe 40 minutes creating a really great content for our charities. These links that you're watching on, they are ready to go like that. You're not waiting for editing. I hope you can see we make it graphically pleasing. So, this is content that your charity or a charity you know of can use over and over and over. We can give you the HD download of the whole video. So if they have a production team, they can take snippets and use it any way they want. But we'd really love to highlight that charity. The content, the use of it thereafter is a bonus, but we really want to highlight great charities and even good businesses giving back where charity is like a part of their culture in their business. If you know somebody like that, you are somebody like that, go to lancasterconnects.com/guest and we'll get you on the show.
Very good. I think I got a testimonial.
Ben's got a testimonial. We're going to get the prize later fired up. Chris is going to start entering the launch code in the background. So this is your last chance to get comments in. Commenting gets you in to win. And we didn't say it, but if you're watching this, give us a love reaction. LinkedIn's got them. Instagram's got it. That's the only one, right? Yeah, it's the only one. Well, what kind of love reaction button exists in your world? Like an angry face? Like what?
You're right.
Yes. Just hit the love button. We appreciate it. And it's in all platforms.
Yes.
And it is the heart button, Benjamin.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, let's read your testimonial.
All right. So Karen, just this past weekend, Saturday, I believe, this was the best mattress buying experience she ever had. We were greeted personally and professionally as we walked in the door. We said we are just looking, and we were told to go right ahead and feel free to ask questions. Literally, my daughter and I tried every bed in this place, and we kept coming back to one bed for me that I really loved. When we were ready to ask questions, Drew took care of us and was professional, knowledgeable, and easy to talk to. Drew took all the time needed to answer all of our questions and concerns on what size bed I should buy, pricing, the quality of the mattresses they sell, delivery and setup, warranty, satisfaction guaranteed, and time frame. I was so happy to find a place that sells actually double-sided mattresses. Highly recommend Gardner's Mattress and More for the quality of their mattresses, pricing, and the professional and personal service we received. It's a long one, but a good one.
That's double-sided mattresses.
Flippable, right. Flippable. So what I wanted to highlight there is obviously our job here. We feel our job is to help you wake up happy. And to do that, the best thing we can do is when you're here, learn about your sleep needs and make recommendations on the products. Go through our process to find the one that's the right fit for you. But sometimes people just want to be left alone, and that's totally cool. We are not a high pressure operation. We're not going to follow you around the showroom. We're not going to hover over you. So if you want to be left alone, now maybe she was here at a time when there were other people here, and they, Drew was working with other people perhaps, but we are not going to hound you and force you to buy just because you've walked in our doors. We want to make sure you're comfortable here and have the space to get yourself comfortable. And if just laying on every mattress in the store is what you need to do to get started, and then you have questions after that, that's what we're going to do. So thank you to Karen, and of course thank you to Drew, who's back here somewhere, to go through that process with Karen. So it was a good one. It was a good one to get over the weekend. It's nice. It's nice when the reviews come through and it's like, bing, 5 stars, and read a bunch of nice words.
That's what we get. All right, your Sleep Better book, we'll mail it to you. Can be yours. We mail it to you. Just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. That gets you right to the page. Put in your information, and these things have been flying off the shelf ever since that WGAL story. So get your copy.
Just gave the mailman a stack of like 15 of them.
Yeah, Gardner's is going to push the USPS into the black with mailing out Sleep Better books. Mm-hmm. So from page 15, your Sleep Better tip for this week: almost every system and tissue type in the body is affected by sleep. Here are some major renewing functions of the body that transpire while you sleep: growth hormone release, muscle repair and regrowth, tissue repair and regrowth, protein synthesis, and brain detox. That one's very important. Because we're in a society where there's like hustle and grind culture, sleep 4 hours, sleep 3 hours. Some of my peers in the business world, puff out their chests about being up for 48 hours at a time, 72 hours at a time. It's really, really unhealthy for you. And there's a lot of studies that have come out and continue to come out about lack of sleep and how that affects the brain in the detoxification process. And this ultimately leads to Alzheimer's and dementia, close to me because my beloved grandmother is afflicted with Alzheimer's, and it's really terrible to sit there and watch somebody you love be affected. And all you had to do was just have a good sleep routine. And this book has all those kinds of tips in there to have that good routine, have good hygiene, have proper sleep habits. Trust me, you do. If you've seen it, I know Jonna, she is passionate about the Alzheimer's Association. If you've seen somebody with Alzheimer's, it is very sad to watch somebody who is very functioning or was very functioning, very smart, very intelligent, very capable. It's a very sad thing to watch it happen, and it doesn't have to happen. And sleep can be part of that. So we really do believe it here. We wrote the book. We want to give you the book and give you all these great tips. So gardenersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. Yes.
/dash.
Right. Slash and dashing. Dashing and slashing. Right into the end of the show.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching.
Later.
Yeah, we have to do the prize later, and then we will wrap it up. When we get that fired up again, you can watch this pretty much anywhere you've got an internet-connected device, be that a podcast player, a YouTube screen, an Amazon app on your TV. Just look us up, and you'll find us.
And all of them have a heart button
At this point. They'll have a heart button, yes.
All right.
That is right. I'm glad we cleared that up on this show. Here goes the prize later. Who's going to win?
Jonna.
Jonna wins again.
You know, I'm a little jealous of our guest Dawn. I thought we were Jonna's biggest fan, but I think it's actually Dawn.
Mm-hmm. I see where your loyalties are, Jonna Hoover Green. Anyway, on that note, congratulations, Jonna. And I think that's it. We got everything.
That's it.
We can sign
Episode
off.
50 is in the books.
In the books.
50.
We'll see you next week.
So for 100, we'll do something big.
We need to do
We
something
didn't
big.
plan anything for 50.
Yeah, we'll
Other
do
than a
something.
great guest, but
That's right. We'll do something big for episode 100. In the meantime, take care, and we'll see you next week on Lancaster Connects.